Welcome everyone to TV Book Club, the show where we watch, discuss some of our favorite shows weekly. I'm your host Rasheed. And on today's episode, we have Eddie,
Hey,
aka Free Clown,
we
Krystal.
thug. We thug immediately.
and also Krystal.
Hey y'all.
And for today's episode, we're going to talk about two Atlanta episodes: episode 7, Trini to the Bone, and episode 8, New Jazz. So for episode 7, Trini to the Bone, basically, it was one of those episodes where we didn't have the main characters in it, but I actually enjoyed this episode. Basically, it was revolving around a young couple who had a son who had a Trinidadian babysitter, and unfortunately, she passed away. And basically, it just highlighted like her impact on that young child's life, and also got into like the culture of people from Trinidad, and overall like it was entertaining and it was funny. Overall, I personally enjoyed this episode. But one thing that it started out, I remember like vividly, like the episode started out with the white man, the dude father. I think he was taking a jog or coming from work, or he was doing some shit, and the nigga was bumping like gangster rap. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he's
Like
doing that shit.
blasting that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, like I don't be driving into work no more. But I remember like even when I'm driving to like anything I'm fucking doing, I'm playing like
Hell
killer
yeah.
music. I'm bumping all that gangster, robbing nigga, killing nigga. This I've never killed on niggas. I'm not gonna.
Hey,
If I
young
did,
thug.
I wouldn't have said that shit on some shit we recording anyway. If I was, but you feel what I'm saying? Like I live a regular life. You know what I'm saying? And I be bumping that gangster shit. So it's just funny to see like niggas really be doing that. You feel what I'm saying? Like white people would probably be doing that same shit too, like all that shit. So,
Yep.
but yeah, I think what y'all think about the episode in general?
Mhm. I thought it was a good episode. I actually really enjoyed it. It probably was my favorite episode. First of all, Sebastian was his name, the little boy. I just thought he was so cute. Like I just thought he was adorable. And so that definitely sold me over. But I really liked the message. And I really like like the cultural aspect to it. It's very interesting because we've seen Atlanta do this. They brought some Nigerian into it this season. They bring in like Trini into it, which is great. I really liked it. I just thought it was a good episode. I think that the message was there, but it was delivered in such like a lighthearted way, and kind of like taking us like making us see something so I guess tragic through the eyes of a kid. Is the perspective I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I think this is also my favorite episode so far this season. Eddie, what you think about the episode?
Yeah, I really like the episode. Like you said, Rasheed, from the start when he was running. At first I watched the episode twice. At first I didn't catch that the music was actually coming out his headphone when he came back in the house. Um, and yeah, this episode it was it's it's some real shit. I feel like Caribbean women are are vital in the caregiving industry. I myself had a Caribbean babysitter, so like I
Never
know
knew
how
that.
like huh.
Breaking news, guy. I've been best friends with Eddie since 6th grade. I never
Never
knew
knew
that.
Not Caribbean, well from the she was from Haiti, so it's like
Okay.
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
yeah, they do things, they do everything their way. Like like my
Mhm.
mom would give them a list of stuff that I need to eat, stuff like that. She's like, "Fuck that!" Like you feel me? You gonna you gonna eat these beef patties? You feel me? You gonna listen to my music? And it's like
Mhm.
that shit. Like how Christian is, like kids are sponges, so it's like that shit really does help shape the people. So I feel like it's cool that they picked up stuff like that people can relate to,
Mhm.
black or white. Um, but also, I always feel like it comes with a deep message, because back in slavery times, our peoples was taking care of those white people's kids, and
Ah, shit,
teaching
I
them.
didn't even think about that.
I did.
I had to come with it. You feel me?
Mhm.
So it's like I feel like maybe that's in it. Maybe it's not. I might be forcing. You feel me? But
No, I felt it. That's how I
yeah,
felt too. So you're on
That's
something.
interesting.
I
That's
also
interesting.
felt like the dad was way more relatable to
Yes.
what was her name, Sylvia,
Yes.
to
That's
her
exactly
life.
What you mean by relatable?
Like I feel like he was more understanding of like the stuff that would come from like her culture. Like
I feel like
like
he was just more
her
open.
mom was more timid and scared of stuff like that. And he was more like I feel like he cared that his son really picked up the culture a lot. So like he wanted to like take him to the funeral and stuff like that, and he was like real easy going at the funeral while his wife was real taken aback, and it's because I feel like I mean I'm maybe going too deep in it because his son sees that and it's like he doesn't want to disrespect the caregiver's family in front of his son, and I feel like he did a real good job with that. The wife was weird as hell to me.
Really, I don't really remember the wife too much,
She was
but
weird.
yeah.
I agree with you, Eddie, completely. I think the dad was a lot more open than the mom was. But it was interesting to me because I felt like the mom was experiencing like guilt. I don't think that like she was really as involved as she wanted to be because, they had Miss Sylvia. I believe that's her name.
Yeah.
And so, Miss Sylvia, like he walked her, the little boy Sebastian walked her through everything. Like, I'm scared. And he
Yeah,
like, Miss Sylvia does this, Miss
Right.
Sylvia does
Yeah.
that. But like, as the mom, like the viewers, I would say, would expect you to know these things or know how to like soothe your son. But
Mm.
because it seems like Miss Sylvia spent more time with him, I think that that's why she was a little bit more reserved because I feel like she was just like internally going through like some mom guilt
Guilty.
essentially.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
guilty. And it's like
Yeah.
the dad, he probably just wasn't thinking about it that in that way, or he was just quicker to be more accepting of it um in general. But I thought it was really interesting that like the little boy just it's just kids are sponges. Like it's so crazy because it's just like he picked up on everything and he was surprising his own mother. Like I thought it was very interesting when the pastor was like going to town or
He
whatever.
was like, "Yes, Lord."
Yeah,
Like kids are sponges, and then seeing the mom's reaction where he had asked like, oh, like where did Miss Sylvia go, and she was like, nobody knows. But then to have seen the kid be so like, yes, and oh, I was just like, it's like, I don't know, it was interesting to me because it was just very like two totally different realities that the little boy is in. Like when he's with his mom and he's at home, like they're very white, they're very, but like with Miss Sylvia, I just feel like he was just way more
That
cultured.
nigga straight from Trinidad, bro.
Yeah,
When
like
he
it
was,
was
bro, the
really
nigga, the nigga was
like
like saying all the sayings and shit with
yeah,
Miss Sylvia daughter. Nigga was eating spicy curry for breakfast, bro. Like what the
breakfast.
yeah.
fuck,
That's vicious, man.
bro? This nigga, the dad was like, "Yo,
That
what
is
the
the start of the day.
fuck, bro?"
Vicious.
The
Here.
nigga, the nigga was Trini to the bone, like for real. Like he knew all the lyrics and all that shit. Like that shit was funny. And then like at the funeral when Chet Hanks was sitting next to
Show's
them and
hilarious.
shit. Yo was like, they was like, yo, like, you got a real strong accent, bro. Like, where you
Yeah,
from?
from Tribeca.
I'm from Tribeca, bro.
I was like, oh
The
no.
Sylvia was my caretaker. And I was like, yo, that's gonna be Sebastian when he get older type shit. But it's funny though, like I guess this dives into like a deeper thing because like, you know, Sebastian, I felt like really enjoyed Miss Sylvia, really had a great influence by Miss Sylvia, and was influenced by her, right? And it like, when he was saying all that Trini shit, like all that shit, it seemed like he was being himself, honestly, right?
Yeah,
So like, how do you feel about like a nigga like Chet Hanks? Because that nigga he was older, and Miss Sylvia also raised that nigga too in Tribeca. You know what I'm saying?
we talking about the real Chet Hanks or like on the
Nah, like a hypothetical character, not
Oh,
a
okay.
real Chet Hanks. That nigga, you feel me? That's different. But like, like somebody that was raised in a culture that's they can't outwardly represent, right?
That's a good question.
Well, firsthand, like I can't really be mad at it because, like I said, like like they're so strong in their beliefs and like their customs and like they're gonna be themselves unapologetically everywhere. So it's like if you raising that child from maybe like because we say Chet Hanks character parents weren't like
I'm right.
there all the time from
Yeah.
like being a kid to high school. If they got the caregiver there all that time, he's gonna pick up on all the customs. He's gonna try and if he finds her cool, he's gonna try and do stuff she does. So it's like kids are so easily like to want to pick up stuff. I can't really blame him for it because that's all he really was around after school and like maybe some weekends and stuff like that. So it's like it's really it's a slippery slope, honestly.
Yeah,
It's like it's not really his fault.
Yeah, I
yeah,
would agree. I mean, he's a kid, and like it to be so young and have such that type of influence on your life, and if he was able to grow up with Sylvia and turn into like like a Chet Hanks, um, that's truly like what he knows. Like
yeah.
kids are products of their environment, and so
Right,
it's like if that's his environment and he's embodying that environment, there's no malice behind it. I think the conversations start to take a different turn when there's malice behind it. Um, but yeah, I mean, I just feel like that's just who he is. Trini to the
right.
bone. Like that's
It's
just
the fucking bone, bro. That shit was hard.
and yeah, it's like Caribbean people, Caribbean people, they're my people. Don't get me wrong. They're my people, but we're very strong. Like we're very strong and our culture very strong in our beliefs and that it really does shine through. So, and it's something that we want everybody to embrace. And so regardless of what that looks like I'm not surprised that that was the storyline that they went. And I wasn't surprised that it was a little whiteboard that they took the storyline to. I wasn't surprised
Mm.
because I mean, that's just
I mean, it
that's
makes sense though. Yeah, it makes sense though, cause like, well, also like apart. I mean, Caribbean people are fucking crazy. Trini people crazy. All Caribbean people are fucking crazy from my life experience. But
I
like,
don't know what do you mean by crazy though? What does that mean?
insane, like not good, like
Oh,
No,
like
now I'm
you
about
know,
to get defensive because what
they're
that mean?
fucking crocking. They was guffing at the funeral, bro. They was guffing, like really
that was
fucking
beautiful
fighting.
though.
You said what?
That's how they show sad or
Exactly.
scared.
Like that's
But
how
but but it's funny though. It's funny though, cause look, cause them niggas started. So one thing that the daughter said, the daughter was kind of like mad. She was like, "Yo, like." She was like, "Yo, fuck her." Like she ain't say fuck her, but she said some crazy shit like,
Mhm.
my mom took care of all these other
So
motherfuckers.
they
She
didn't
ain't
take
take
care
care
of
of
me.
me, type
Yeah.
shit. And I was like, damn, that's kind of deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I
But
never thought about that aspect of it because like
said that she was providing for us. That's how
she
they see it.
provided, yeah. But like the time though, like it's like you spend all that time
But the
with these
timing,
white boys with Chet Hanks and Sebastian.
That's true.
What about me, bro?
yeah, you gotta put the time in,
You
bro.
gotta put the time in,
You
bro.
gotta put the
You know what I'm
time in.
saying? And it was funny as shit though, cause not like Krystal or like Eddie, like you said, they was fighting this shit, and like mid fight, the fight stopped, and they was the white people was walking away. They was like, "Hold on, like, y'all scaring the white."
Y'all scared the white people.
And he was like, "Yo, this is how how we sad or whatever, whatever. This is how we show that we sad."
This
And
is
that
how
was
we
like, damn,
feel.
that is real shit. Like, I think Caribbean people definitely crazy, but I think just how they show their emotions is just different than what people are accustomed to.
I don't
I
think we're
think
crazy.
what's so
I think
cool
we're,
about like people
Emotional.
from the
but I feel like
island.
we're emotionally intelligent. Sorry, Eddie, go ahead. I'm a.
Oh
Mhm.
no, it's okay. I'm sorry. I think what's so cool about the people like from the islands, from like Trinidad and like the Caribbeans and Haiti and stuff. I feel like it's so genuine. Like everything that
Oh,
they
it's
do is so
genuine.
genuine. Like they
Yeah.
never try hard. That's why people are always trying to adapt to their culture and stuff like that because it's like a no worries type of culture. Like, as long as I'm myself, they have no problem with how they're viewed. So it's like I feel like that episode also showed that because it's like they think everything. I mean, everything they are doing is normal because it's what they do. But it's like looking at they're also showing it from the perspective of a white person that will
Yeah.
look at it like it's like crazy, and they're making the viewers view it as a white person. Because like, say if me, you, Rasheed, if we see like some people that's Caribbean, we're not gonna think it's crazy. But like
Yeah.
that's because we see it from our point of view. But the show is showing it from like a white
A
person's
white
point of
person.
view and allowing
Yeah.
us to like see how they would view that type of shit. And I feel like that's
Yeah.
like real interesting because I've never really viewed Caribbeans or anyone as like out of the world crazy because it's like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just
They got out
themselves.
of the world crazy.
But
Yeah.
like white people probably be like, wow, this is fucking
This is some
insane.
other shit. Yeah. 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 Well. Before we move on to the next episode, it was one thing that was kind of like weird about this episode we talking about. Is like,
Package.
remember when the package, the cuz kept knocking on the door, he would go to the door, it's the package, and like it was just weird. And then at the end, it was just a picture of Sebastian and Miss
It was
Sylvia.
the family day picture. Remember they talking about it at school?
Yeah, and she
Sylvia
said
was
they missed it or something, like the parents missed it or whatever. But
yeah, they
like
probably said
why?
that because Sylvia when they probably like, what the fuck?
Mm,
Bro, like who is this lady? It was
yeah.
nothing like Sebastian. I feel like that was Sylvia bringing the pictures, bro.
It definitely
The
was.
ghost.
from the grave, my nigga. What the
Yeah, I feel like she was trying to send a message like, be in your son's life, nigga. Like, you feel me?
Ah,
Y'all missing out.
When he came back from the funeral, like he wasn't scared. He was fine, and he
yeah,
was
he
like,
was
"Hi, Miss Sylvia," and like it like panned over to like her couch, and I took it as like her, like her spirit was there.
scared. Yeah,
So the whole time when the doorbell was ringing, I knew it was Miss Sylvia. I just was like, "What's in the package?" I was like, like
Yeah.
what is
yeah.
that? But yeah, no, it all kind of came together at
I
the end.
see that. That's y'all niggas. Y'all putting this shit together. Y'all
It was
putting this
deep.
shit together.
It was a deep episode.
It
It
Yeah,
was
that
was
shit
the Trini
was
to the bone, man.
train to the fucking
to the
bone.
to the
Okay,
bone. To the
let's
bone.
move on to the next episode.
Okay.
So the next episode was New Jazz. Basically this episode is like one of them episodes where niggas like do drugs and go on a trip. Uh, but it had some different elements into it as well. So, well, but first let me ask, what do y'all think about the episode? Crystal, you spoke a little bit before the show started. What you think about this episode?
It bored. Like I was bored. I don't know. Like Atlanta does this. It's like a high and a low with me. Like sometimes I'm like, yes, I love this episode. I love the message. It's all there for me. And then I'm gonna hit a low, and I'm just like, I mean, it makes sense. Like, okay, but like, it was nothing about this episode that was like, wow, this is so like interesting, or you know what I
Mm,
mean? Like, or
yeah.
there was no meaning behind it for me. Now,
Hmm.
again, I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. I watched it. I probably should have watched it a second time for like real clarity, but I didn't. So maybe if I give it a second watch, I'll think differently. But it just kind of bored me. I don't know.
Okay. Eddie, what you think about the episode?
Bro, I think that episode was fucking crazy, trippy as hell, bro.
Yeah.
Like from the aspect of him talking
The girl
to the woman from from the aspect of it being his mother. Like that shit was
Yeah.
crazy.
was anything.
So, can I ask y'all? I don't know if y'all know, is did his mom pass away in the show
Yeah, they said that
from the beginning,
from
right?
the first season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like the part. Remember how he was walking with Darius when they first did the drugs? Oh, actually, first of all, what is Darius' role in a crew? Because they kind of alluded to that shit in the show.
I
They
had
was like,
no clue,
it's like
bro. I think it's some
when
entourage
the
type
episode
shit.
first started, they was getting lunch or whatever, and Darius was kind
Mhm.
of bluffing on paying and shit. Payboy was like, bro, I'll pay
He
shit,
was
bro.
like, "I'm gonna let." What did he say? He was like, "I'm gonna let the
I'm gonna let,
manifestation or something."
yeah,
Yeah, and nigga was like, was that like niggas? Am I the manifestation? Like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, you feel what I'm saying? So they'll pay for it there, and then when they went to go get the little drugs, he paid for it again. Like it was like like he's like this nigga
I'm gonna
Payboy.
let my faith take care of this or something like that.
Yeah, you feel me?
Yeah, they
So I'm thinking like, I never really thought about it, like, but what the fuck is Darius's role? Like, at
Think
least,
he just on some entourage, his right hand man type shit.
yeah,
maybe
like,
he the hype man. Every crew needs a hype man. Maybe that's him, but he like a low man, so maybe not
man, you
hype.
gotta
I don't know.
provide,
He's
some
Jim Jones,
value.
bro.
Yeah, so I was thinking about that. Like, you feel me? He not really providing that much value for Payboy right there, right? And they do the
Mhm.
drugs and shit, and he tripping a little bit, woody woody woo. Then he run into Shorty. I forgot the girl name, but
Lorraine.
Lorraine, right? Running to Lorraine. Lorraine telling him all types of shit, like nigga, like why you looking like that? Like the fuck, like da da da. You moving funny, da da da. And like towards the later on in the episode, she asked him about like, yo, like nigga, do you own your masters? Do you like, you know what I'm saying? Do you got this shit like this shit together? Like I'm helping you out, like da 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 da. He was like, he ain't really had no answers for real, type shit. And and then it was weird too, because when he got fucked up and he started laying like on the ground, and like he was like shivering and shit like that. That was the same scene that happened in the beginning of the episode where he walked past a nigga that he
Oh
saw
shit.
around.
I
Yeah,
missed that, but now
yeah.
I get
I
wow.
see you put things together, brother.
Bro, rewatch that shit, bro. That shit was crazy because he walked past himself laying on the ground like fucked up off drugs type shit, and then
I
they
didn't
just ran
see
it
that.
back in the episode. Yeah. So like, and then when he woke up, he was in the bed, and Aaron was like, bro, you was fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had to come get you, had to change you out your clothes, woody woody woo.
Damn.
And he asked about Lorraine, and Aaron was like, nigga, your mom, like, what the fuck is
Mm.
you talking about? Like, and then that's when he knew, like, either he had a dream or like, you
Sure.
know,
Tripping.
he was a trip, like it was a crazy trip. And then he was like, yo, like, who own my masters? And I was like, what? Like, he was like, yo, who own my masters, bro? He was like, bro, you do. Like, you got all your shit. He's like, well, all right, bet. And then, that was that. But I think that trip just put everything in perspective for him to like tie up his shit correctly. You know what I'm saying? Like, despite his success, he's being very successful. Like, random white boys in Europe knowing who the fuck he is, type shit. But he gotta like, tie his shit up and make sure that he keeping shit good on the business side too. And not just having people that's just his friends and family, looking at shit as well.
Mhm.
Mm.
So
It's so interesting how like these trippy episodes are like a like an opportunity for like the main, like I won't say Paperboy is the main character, but he is. But like the main characters to like do some like introspective work. Because
yeah,
take for instance, like in Snowfall, I know it's done, but like when they was on what was it?
or
It was
LSD, I think.
LSD.
yeah, LSD. That was, when Franklin did his work.
Yeah,
So it's very interesting. Like that was the connection that I saw between the two shows. And I think it's interesting that that is when people are like the most aware,
I
but then
think
like also
I think
not.
that's the case in real life too, though, don't you? Like when you be high, you be going into deep thought, thinking about all types of shit. So it's like maybe it's just a good time for reflection. Like, am I doing this shit right?
Mm.
Or am I just fucked up and I'm just thinking crazy shit? Like, you feel me?
Yeah, sure. That's so fun.
I mean,
This episode, man, I had a couple questions about this episode because, like, damn, I just lost it. So when they went to when they met up with her friends with the new jet, and they said, the new jet's getting, and they were like, you and Lorraine fucking, like type shit. They're like, she's discreet because, I don't know if y'all know, Lorraine is acted by a transgender actress.
I didn't know she was transgender. No.
Yeah, named Ava Gray or something like that. So I was like, when I finished the episode, I was like, what was the tie of Lorraine being Ava Gray with, your mom's thoughts coming into you? So, like, I don't know if
Yeah.
they're going to dive deep into Paperboy's, like, thought process and stuff like that. Because I know he's been all over the place with, trying to write music and trying to all this other stuff about himself. So I don't know. I want to know what the tie is between that. Two, why did Childish Gambino choose to use two controversial white men in the back-to-back episodes? First, Chet Hanks and Liam Neeson. I fuck with how he got Liam Neeson to
Talk about that
about
shit.
because that's real shit. He really did say when he was a teenager that he had a dream about beating a black man to death with a whatever thing, a conch, whatever the fuck the shit is.
Mhm.
I think that's bold as fuck to do as a
Even
black.
it's even bold for Liam to even
do it.
I
do it.
honestly thought Liam was geeking, but then I'm like, this is genius. But it's like,
Mhm.
bro, that's dangerous as fuck, bro. Like,
Yeah,
this is a real story, and then you end up saying like, yeah, I hate black people, but it's like, I'm
I'm
like,
white.
yeah, I'm like,
Nigga said I'm
damn,
white. I can do what I want. Like,
I
I'm
was like,
like,
that's ham as fuck, bro. And
yeah,
Paperboy was just like, what the fuck? And
right,
Yeah.
like, yo, Paperboy keeps getting in interactions with these crazy ass white people that
yeah,
like have no problem like telling them like, yeah, like you feel me?
I don't
I'm pretty much racist and I'm gonna fuck you over, but it's like, what are you gonna
it is
do? And
what it is.
I feel like it's happening to Paperboy for a reason. Like him.
Yo, do y'all think Childish Gambino be going through this shit in real life? I know this show is not about Childish Gambino, but I don't know. He might be like, cause think about like all this show is about a rapper and his people and their ascent, right?
Mhm.
And it's like, bro, like, Childish Gambino's a rapper and the nigga's been ascending. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know if he a paper
he's not a paper boy
maybe he
though. He's
posted it,
obviously
but
not a
he
paper boy.
would like it to be from the aspect of him as like a trap rapper, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. But I'm saying like the shit that's Paperboy is going through is like I don't even think necessarily you had to be a trap rapper. Like you dealing with like fucking labels and you got your cousin running your shit. He fucking up. You got your fucking best
Yeah.
friend just asks you for money and fucking up, and he just lose. You got your fucking all these white people fucking you over. Like
It's
every
crazy.
chance they get, they're just fucking you over. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
That's probably from experience. I would
yeah,
say
like
the
I'm
music
just thinking,
industry and
like, you feel me?
Y'all think Ern was lying about the Masters?
I hope not. I
Because he
hope
kind of
fucking not.
hesitated.
I kind of thought he was. I
I
kind of thought
think he hesitated because he was like, bro, when the fuck did you start thinking about masters? Like, you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Like,
So how could you go from that to oh yeah, you own it? I was kind of like,
he probably because like I feel like starting out though, like when you first starting out, like niggas don't give a fuck because you a
He
lame
just
man.
had to get a deal, probably.
yeah,
Yeah, you just glad to get a deal. But I'm thinking though, but Ern's a smart nigga though, so I feel like he would be the type of nigga to make sure he earned his masters.
yeah.
He has his masters, so I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. That was episode 8, so I think we should have at least 2 more episodes left.
Yeah.
I'm interested as to how this is gonna get tied up for this
Well, let
season.
me ask y'all this: have y'all seen like a plot like for the season, like a consistent fucking like you know how Snowfall is like this is the beginning, middle, end, how this shit's gonna go. Like this shit is like
The consistency, I think they're trying to do a thing where it's like two shows in one. So like the first one is the series of craziness with the white people going on, and the other one is the continuous growth of Paperboy earning
yeah,
Darius from the other seasons. The only thing with last season we didn't have the A and B side of things. I honestly don't even think. At first, I thought it was going to tie in. Honestly, I think it's not even going to tie in. I think they're just having fun with their creative concepts right now.
yeah.
So I feel it's like two different plots in one show.
I think that stresses me out. I think that's the
Yeah,
part.
it does.
Yeah, because I'm just like,
You don't know what to expect.
yeah, like I'm such a plot driven person when I watch shows. I'm like, okay, A plus B will equal C. But
Right.
I feel like with this, it's like A plus B plus C plus D. Like we never gonna get to the end. It's kind of how I
Yeah.
feel. So like
Yeah.
having two plots going at once is actually very, very creative. And I've never really seen it be done, honestly. So I would definitely take my hat off to him for being able to do such. But as far as a plot, like not really. The only thing that I can say
Mhm.
is that in section A, the white people have been a menace. They've been menacing to end. And then from point B is literally just them in Europe and just having different experiences with
Experiences,
Paperboy's
yeah.
fame. You know what I mean? Or his like upcoming fame.
Right,
That's
right.
all
That's literally what it is. That's literally what it is. Like even on both sides of it, I literally don't know where they're both going. Like
no.
I personally can't predict it, but it's
At all.
it's entertaining. It has its own like different messages and what I'm saying, different shit in there. So it's been
Yep.
cool. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching today's episode of TV Book Club. Special shout out to our guests. Please like, follow, and subscribe to Nimbus Network Media on all socials. If you would like to hop on the show, please DM us on Instagram. And I'm gonna see y'all next week.
Free Young
Peace,
Thug.
everybody.
Bye y'all.